You know, every specialized field has its own lingo, right? A kind of shorthand for really big ideas. Well, chemistry is definitely one of those fields. So in this explainer, we're going to decode 4 key terms that'll help you speak the language of chemistry and, honestly, understand the world just a little bit better.
And just so you know, what we're covering today comes from Part 19 of a 20-part series on an introduction to chemistry, all from Virtualization Options LLC.
So, have you ever been listening to someone talk about their field and they start dropping jargon and you just kind of nod along, completely lost? With chemistry, when you hear words like stoichiometry or equilibrium, yeah, it can totally feel like you've walked into a conversation in a completely different language.
And here's the thing. In a way, they are speaking another language. But the good news is, it's a language that makes a lot of sense once you learn a few key words. Our whole goal here is to translate 4 of the most important ones, so you can start to see how chemists think.
Okay, let's dive in with our first word, and it gets right to the heart of what makes an atom what it is. The word is isotope, and the clue is right there in the subtitle, same but different. So how can something be the same and different at the same time?
Well, here's the deal. An isotope is still the same element. What makes a carbon atom, for instance, is that it always has 6 protons. That's like its unchangeable ID card. But it can have a different number of neutrons hanging out in the nucleus. That little variation is what makes it an isotope.
And get this, that tiny difference has huge consequences. Most of the carbon in the world is carbon-12. It's stable, it's everywhere. But if you add just 2 neutrons, you get carbon-14. It's still carbon, but now it's unstable. It's radioactive. And that instability is amazing because it acts like a tiny clock, which lets scientists date ancient artifacts. Same element, totally different superpower.
So, we just talked about a twist inside the atom. Now, let's zoom out and look at a twist in how whole molecules are built. Welcome to the world of isomers. Okay, so with isotopes, the number of neutrons was different. With isomers, the parts list, the chemical formula is exactly the same. You got the same number and type of atoms. The only thing that changes is how they're all connected. It's their 3D arrangement. This is the absolute best way to think about it. It's like Legos. Imagine you have a small pile of bricks, say 2 red ones and 4 blue ones. You can use those exact same bricks to build a little car. Or you can take it apart and rebuild it into a little house. Same exact parts, but what you built is completely different. That's what isomers are. And this isn't just a fun little fact. This structural difference is critical. It can be the difference between a life-saving medicine and a molecule that does absolutely nothing, or is even harmful. In chemistry, structure is everything. It determines what a molecule can do. All right, let's tackle the word that sounds the most intimidating. I promise the idea behind it is something you already do, probably in your own kitchen. Let's talk about stoichiometry. Before we even look at the textbook definition, just let this sink in. A recipe. When you bake a cake, you know you need 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of sugar. You can't just guess and throw stuff in a bowl, right? Stoichiometry is just applying that exact same careful planning to chemical reactions. So there's the official definition. It's really just the math behind the chemical recipe. It lets chemists calculate exactly how much of each ingredient, what they call a reactant, they need to start with to get the exact amount of the final thing, the product, that they want to make. It's all about precision. For our last term, we're going to look at the state of a reaction. It's not about the start or the finish, but this really cool sweet spot in the middle called equilibrium. See, a lot of reactions aren't just a one-way street. They can go forwards, and they can also go backwards. So you have reactants turning into products, but at the same time, you have some of those products turning back into reactants. When the speed of the forward reaction perfectly matches the speed of the backward reaction, you've hit equilibrium. It might look like nothing's happening, but underneath, it's a constant, perfectly balanced dance.
And why should you care about this? Well, your life literally depends on it. Right now, as you're listening to me, your blood is maintaining a super delicate chemical equilibrium to keep its pH in a very, very narrow range. It's this dynamic balance happening constantly that's keeping you alive.
And that's it. You've just gotten a handle on 4 huge ideas in chemistry. Isotopes, same element, different neutrons. Isomers, same atoms, different structure. Stoichiometry, the chemical recipe. And equilibrium, that perfect dynamic balance.
I want to leave you with this last thought. Learning this language isn't really about memorizing words for a test. It's about seeing the world in a new way. It's understanding that everything around us, and inside of us, is just in a constant state of transformation, where nothing is ever really lost, it's just rearranged into something new. And that, well, that's a beautiful idea.